guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my everyday makeup routine. As a former beauty guru and now a mummy of two, this is definitely the makeup that I do most days. I can do this in under 10 minutes, give or take a few products or a few steps. This is what it ends up looking like most of the time. I do wear makeup probably like 5 days out of the week on average. Some may say it's a lot of makeup. I could say that I used to wear a lot more makeup. If you know, you know. Let's get into the tutorial. So nostalgic. Although filming in a different space. Now, when starting off my makeup routine, I've only just recently worked this into the routine. This is from Temu. It's a Retinol Eye stick and it just provides a lot of hydration under the eyes so it doesn't get creasy and doesn't crack or anything like that. I just have found, especially with the concealer that I use, I just need this product. And then if I want my makeup to last all day, I use an eyeshadow primer, but generally day to day, I don't use this unless it's summer. In summer, I do use this. Day to day, winter, I don't really care. To cover dark circles or any blemishes, I use this NARS concealer. This is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Honey. This is a peach toned concealer and I just pop it there. Some days I do this, some days I just skip it, but you'll see that that just clears up those dark circles. And then if I've got any blemishes, I just put this over top or scarring. I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. This is in 4D 4W and I'm going to use my foundation buffer brush for this one. I just pop it straight on the brush. Now, I have got some fake tan on, so I'm matching to that, although the tan on my face is kind of faded. I love this foundation brush so much. It just makes applying foundation so quick and easy. So I just kind of like push it around and then like stipple it. And then if I need a little bit of extra coverage, I'll go in with a bit more, but I think that this is okay for today. Depending on how my skin is, I'll reach for a different foundation depending on what color my skin is. Yeah, then I'm using the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. I do find that this gets cakey on my maturing skin. I would say use it sparingly around the eyes. And then going in with my concealer buffer brush. I like to do a little bit on the forehead, down the nose and the chin just to highlight those areas, give my face some dimension. I've just been doing this for so long and that's just my routine. You of course don't have to do it, but I just find I put a little bit too much on that side. I'm just going to take off the excess product with a sponge, a beauty blender. So getting into contouring, I've been transformed to use Creme products. I really love them. The first one is this cool toned contour stick from Temu. It's only like a couple of dollars, but I really love the shade of it. So I just do that along my cheekbones there and a bit on my forehead, a little bit on my nose, and then on the sides of my chin there. Now I use this Models Prefer contouring stick, but I'm pretty sure they've changed it because this one is called contouring and now I think there's 2 different colors, but you just want like a bronze. See how that's like nice and warm toned? You just want a nice, beautiful, warm toned one to act as a bronzer as well. You are meant to blend these separately, but I just blend them all together with another foundation buffer brush. So I blend them like this and then blend them up the sides of my face. I go around and like just briefly touch and blend out, and then I'll go in and blend it out a little bit better. But just overall get the product spread out and blend that down my neck. And then get rid of any harsh lines. Just around the edges of my face. This blush stick is actually from Temu as well. So it looks really strong when you apply it, but I do like a little bit of a heavy hand with my blush. But once you blend it out and then you set it with powder, it honestly doesn't even look that scary or intimidating. So I just kind of like push around the apples of my cheeks and push it up. And then I'm going to take my sponge and go and make sure that there's no creasing happening underneath my eyes and on top of my eyes, because next I'm going to go in with powder and I want it to look perfection. I want a loose translucent powder. This is actually the RCMA powder in a Kat Von D packaging, so it doesn't matter what powder I'm going to take my sponge to set my eyes. So you take some product on your sponge, and a little trick to help prevent the creasing is apply as little product as you can underneath your eyes. So I always start like down lower, and then when there's less product on my sponge, I'll go into my eyes and on top. Again, pick up some product for the other side and work it all the way up. And then the eyelid. But I usually apply the powder with a sponge to my T-zone. And then I'll take some on this Luxe powder brush and apply to the rest of my face. Now, if you haven't checked out my Quartz Beauty brushes, I will have them listed down below. They are currently 50% off until the end of the financial year. So I created these sets in 2018 because I just wanted a beautiful brush set that all looked the same, and I wanted the brushes that I use day to day. I used a lot of brushes back then because I was heavily into makeup. I definitely don't use the whole set now, but they come with every brush you can think of. They are cruelty free, so they're made with synthetic fibers, and they're just amazing quality. They wash up beautifully, they last so well. Great as a present idea. Yeah, I just love them so much. They apply my makeup so well. I use them every day to do this kind of makeup, and they have stood the test of time. This set would have to be like 5 years old. I've got a few sets though. Now we are project panning over here, so I am scraping the last little bits of this Too Faced bronzer, and I'm gonna go over where I applied the contouring products, just for a little bit of definition, this honestly. And then I'm using the Milani Corallina brush. I did use Luminoso for many years, and then it ran out. So I'm using Corallina, which I really like the sheen of this blush. You can see like it's one of those baked blushes, and it leaves like a little bit of a sheen. It's not completely matte. Also project panning this. If you watch my vlogs, you will know I've been trying to get through this for so long. This is a Winky Luxe brow pencil, and I'm so close to finishing it. I've literally got this much left. I just like to kind of trace around the edges of my brows. I did just freshly dye them, so I'm not going to need like a whole lot of product today. I should really go get them threaded, but I haven't had that done since like last year, I think. I don't even remember the last time I had them threaded, to be honest. And I just use light stroking motions. And then I'm just going to brush through the product. And then I set them with this Ancient Benefit brow gel. This is a Ready Set Brow. I don't even know if they have these products still. Like this is, I just take forever to go through makeup. Just push them like up and out. Okay, moving on to eyes, I might move you in a little bit closer to see, but I use these 4 brushes. So I start off with the soft crease brush, and then I also use the precision blender. Then I use the Luxe shader to put shadow on my lid, and then the flat definer to put some shadow on my lash line. This is my little palette. It has MAC shadows, Makeup Geek, and Colourpop, but I'll tell you the names of those things. I don't know if you'll even be able to get any of them anymore, but that's just what I use day to day. First color I take is this Bel-Air Colourpop shadow. This is a nice warm tone brown, like a light to medium color. And on my soft crease, I just take it through the crease there. I go in with a bit of product and then I just blend it out. Back and forth, and then blending. And then I take this Barcelona Beach color from Makeup Geek. This is a cool tone brown, and I pop that on my lower lash line with the Precision Blender brush. And then with the Luxe shader, I take all the glitters from MAC and I pop that on my lid. This is just a really nice, not over the top shimmer color. And then I'll just take that soft crease and just blend it in. Sometimes I'll take Top Notch from Colourpop. Generally, if I've got like a bit of fake tan on, I'll take this and just bring some warmth and some more depth to my eyes, but most of the time I'll just leave it at what it was like just before. And I'll bring this on my lower lash line too. And then I'll take Americano from Makeup Geek and I'll pop it on my top lash line, just pressing it in really nice and close. I just want to give a little bit of definition, but nothing over the top. But yeah, feel free to spritz with some setting spray along the way. It helps it stay and it helps it not look as powdery and blend into your skin a little bit better. Okay, mascara, I've been using the MCO Beauty Extend Lash, although I think it's getting a little bit clumpy, so we might not have much longer left with this tube. But I do really like this mascara. It doesn't budge. You can have a meltdown and a cry in this and it literally will stay in place. I tested that out last week. It's one of those tubing mascaras. And we do bottom lashes here. Lips, I use an Essence lip liner. I think this is called Bold, but it's just their nude color. I like to trace around my lips and then fill them in. For lips, my ultimate lip color is actually MAC Love Lawn, but that's all I have left. This is one that they don't make anymore. It's a luster formula, so I don't use her every day. I hardly ever use her, to be honest. So I've switched to a Bite Beauty Luminous Cream Lipstick in Fig. This I find is close. And then we've got to have a little gloss on top. This is a Revlon shimmery pink one. Snow pink. We got to have some highlighter. I use the Benefit What's Up. And I find that this is just a really gentle cream highlighter. And the color is just literally so nice. It works with fair skin and when I'm tan as well. And there you have it. There is my everyday makeup routine from an ex-beauty guru to a mummy of two. And I can do this in under 10 minutes, give or take a few products, but literally I can do it so quick. As I said, there's a lot of steps, but most steps are really, really quick. So if you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial, don't forget to check out Quartz Beauty for the best brushes. We also have lashes as well if you are after some of those. Really affordable too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.